Good evening, and welcome to the Big Z Sports Extra Point Show, showcasing the Garaway Pirates, powered by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven. Now, let's head out to the Hartzler's Quality Housing Mobile Studio at Pizza Parlor V in Sugarcreek with Big Z Sports.
Extra Point Show live from the Pizza Parlor here in Sugarcreek. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas. We are here with the Garaway Pirates this week, coming off a huge win over the Carrollton Warriors, 35-0. We'll talk with head coach Jason Wallach coming up here a little bit. We have their captains here as well: Logan Yoder, Ethan Miller, Jarrett Wallick, and Caleb Miller will join us on the show as well. We'll have the athletic director for the Garaway Athletic Department, and that is Chip Amicone. He has some big news coming out from spring sports. Going to change the look of the fields. We're going to talk about that. That was announced yesterday too. So it's going to be a big show tonight here at Pizza Parlor. And of course, week number 5 of the high school football season going to be half over after this Friday. Kind of crazy, going fast, Shannon.
Well, it's going fast, but I know these group of guys right here, this isn't halfway for them. They got to get a couple more weeks in to get halfway. They got big goals that they're trying to reach this year, and you can't get that done in 10 weeks.
Well, we're going to welcome in head coach Jason Wallach as he sits in between us, Shannon, and Coach. We've talked a little bit, me and you, and I've seen you after week 1 and after week 4. But let's kind of go back and talk about week 1. Kind of been, no disrespect to any other team on your schedule that you've played so far, but probably your most competitive game to date was Bel Air week 1, and you guys came away with a 21-14 win in a very physical matchup.
Yeah, went down there on a hot Saturday afternoon and did not perform anywhere where we thought we could perform or how we could perform. And, but our kids battled. They fought through adversity and persevered to the end of the game, and were able to put a couple drives together there at the end and pull out a good win.
You know, when you go to the river, you go to a river team like that, whether it be St. Clairsville, Steubenville, you go down to Bel Air, a team down that way, they're just always a big physical team that's really going to give you all you want game in and game out when you go down there. Yeah,
I mean, traditionally they're a very good football team. You know, traditionally they're in the playoffs, even way back, in the 80s and 90s. I mean, a long time. They have a great tradition down there, and you're gonna battle a very physical, aggressive football team, and they've got home field advantage a little bit on a Saturday afternoon, and a long bus ride. But listen, that's why we schedule those games to hopefully help us down the road.
Coach, you said you battled adversity down there. Like you said, it was at noon, high noon, and it was really hot and humid that day. You had one of your leaders kind of lose his patience a little bit, and then he was tossed from the game. You had another kid cramp up pretty bad. So you had adversity all the way through that game. But at the end of the game, your senior quarterback, he really stepped up there on that last drive. I think he was 8 for 10 for like 80 yards, and I called him the Iceman after that game, because after the way that day went, somebody had to be calm and cool on that last drive.
Yeah, and really all of our kids, no disrespect to Logan, but all of our kids, kept their composure and on that last drive, and we made plays when we needed to make plays. And the adversity I'm talking about, it goes beyond that. I mean, you're playing in a crazy atmosphere down there, hostile atmosphere. Sure. It was their grand opening for their new stadium. I mean, there was a lot of things going on, but our 2 days were cut short, so were theirs. I probably didn't do a very good job of preparing our guys for week 1. Honestly, with the way we did the schedule this summer. We kind of wasted an extra week with our scrimmage dates and our picture dates and everything. It was just a disaster. And that's the adversity I'm talking about, that, we handled that very well. You get down there, we're down 14-7, and able to put 2 drives together late in the game and get the W.
Your offense was pretty quiet in that game, and you scored 21 points, but one of your key offensive components did go down injured in that game, and that was Ethan Miller. Hurt his shoulder in that game, missed the next 2 games. He came back last week. But you had some kids step up in that game as well, Dylan Sunland being one of them.
Yeah, Dylan did a really nice job. I mean, the first 2 times he touched the ball, he fumbled. And, we just stuck with him, and he did a great job. I mean, there was a kid that's a sophomore playing his first varsity game. He played 1 play last year as a freshman. He broke his foot the very first play of a freshman game. the year before. So really the last time that kid took a handoff in a live game was in 8th grade,
wow.
And then so you go down to Bel Air and that type of atmosphere, that type of environment, in that situation where, we're down, they were throwing punches and landing them early. So, but we kept our guard up and kept fighting to the end. And but yeah, Dylan stepped up and did a really nice job filling in for Ethan. And Jake went down the first series or two, and guys stepped in. I mean, multiple guys stepped in and played key roles in that victory.
Well, one of the things I remember about that game was the very first drive for Bel Air. They kind of had the way with your defense, and they went right down the field, but you guys made adjustments right there. A very athletic quarterback they had. He was able to make things happen. But after that, you guys made adjustments on the fly, and it's pretty much kept him contained the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of, hats off to them. They did a lot of things in that game that we weren't prepared for. They had a new coach. They showed us 2 formations and 5 different plays in their 2 scrimmages, so they were smart, the way that they prepared for our game. So coming in, that first series, we practiced counter all week because that was what they ran in their scrimmages over and over and over, and then they hit us with counter pass. And that's okay. But like you said, Shannon, we adjusted. That was our experience. A great coaching staff that I have that made the adjustments on the fly, and and we just settled down. We won ourselves that first drive. I mean, probably a little too hyped up, too excited, and I think we settled down and made a few adjustments, and played well the rest of the game.
You mentioned excitement and too juiced up for week 1, but with all of the expectations and excitement coming into this season, how hard is it to contain these guys to keep them on level ground each week?
It's really not difficult because their ultimate goals are to play in Canton, Ohio, and that's their focus. So we don't get too high, we don't get too low. We talk about it all the time. Don't let your highs be too highs, your lows be too lows. And I think our guys do a really good job of that. We've got 11 quality seniors that understand the expectations. We've got great underclassmen that follow the role of those senior leaders. And we just don't. I mean, I don't know how else to answer that question, to be honest.
For sure.
We just don't. Listen, we're happy being 4-0 or whatever. Were we 4-0? Yeah. So we're happy being 4-0. But that's not our goals.
For sure. But obviously you move on past week 1. You get Waynedale. You get them 33-3 defensive effort. You only give up a field goal. Offense really started clicking in week number 2. And you move to week number 3 and Dalton. And that was a game last year. Was kind of like the Bel Air game. We did that game week 3 last year up at Dalton. And I believe it was 21-7 if I remember right. And then this year you guys come out and we talked before the game. And you said, man, this team's physical. This team's big. They can do a lot of things. And you get the shutout, and you put up 35 points on them. We knew your offense was powerful, but the defense to get a shutout, a team like Dalton that's had really good seasons over the last 3 or 4 years, that's impressive.
Well, I told you all summer long, the other times we've talked and in the preseason show and those types of things, we felt our defense was ahead of our offense, and that's to be expected. We had 9 returning starters on defense that are pretty much playing their same positions from last year that they gave up 56 points, so, and timing, those types of things offensively, they just take longer. So, as we said earlier, it's going to take some time. I thought our offense could really roll, and we kind of got it going there against Waynedale, and then, in the first half against Dalton, and played really well.
Yeah, Coach. After that first week, gave up those 14 points, 3 points, 0-0. So, I mean, the defense is really playing well right now. I mean, they're clicking. Last week, they took on a very good running back out of Carrollton. Carrollton's been putting up the rushing yards for the last 2 years, and you guys pretty much held them at bay last week.
Well, and you look back at the Dalton film or the Waynedale game, the 3 points we gave up there. We're upset about that. We're not happy with that because we gave up one play, a 40-yard pass play that allowed them to set up that field goal. So our goals every week are shutouts. That's our mentality of our coaching staff. It's the mentality of our kids from the first huddle to the fifth huddle. I mean, they're looking for a shutout each week. So. I mean, our defense has played well, since week 1, other than one play, and we harp on that because, I mean, we were undisciplined on that play. We give up a long pass. It cost us points,
Sure.
But it was good that it happened in a game like that where we still were able to get the victory. But, a good learning point.
A question I like to ask you coming off of a win when we do a game. I won't get to ask you this week, but after reviewing the film of Carrollton, how do you think the Pirates played?
Played okay. When you're facing a Chase Olstrom, you talk them up, you hype them up, and you challenge your kids to shut down that running game. Sure. and force them to do things they don't like to do, and that's throw the ball. And I thought we really played really well in all three phases, or all three levels defensively. Our D-line played really well. Our linebackers did a great job, and then our secondary did a really nice job on play action. So, we played okay. I don't think we're satisfied. I don't think our kids are satisfied because, again, we want perfection, and that's what we practice for. And the kids get tired of me harping on them in practice when things don't go well, but that's why we do what we do, because we want to be perfect on a Friday night. And I told you Friday night after the game, I mean, we haven't hit our strides yet. I think we're playing really well, but I think we have a lot of room to grow and develop, if we're going to reach our ultimate goals.
Coach, we'll jump to the offense side of the ball now. You have a lot of skilled players that are very talented. Does that become a problem trying to give everybody their touches? Because when I see these kids staying on the sideline, it doesn't matter who scores. They're all happy for each other. But as a coach, do you try to spread the ball around a little bit, or you just go with the game plan that's drawn up for that night?
Listen, our guys are very unselfish, and it makes it easy to coach when they're unselfish like that. So it doesn't matter if it's Gabe Amicone or Alexander Roden or Brady Roden or Jensen Garber or Bronson Speedy or Ethan Miller or the list goes on. We've got, like you said, Shannon, we've got some really talented kids. We don't think, oh man, we got to get this kid a catch or this kid a catch, because we expect maximum effort from our kids every play, and they do. And one of the things I'm most proud of is the way our receivers block. Because whether Logan's running the ball or Ethan or Dylan or whoever's running the ball, they know they're not going to be on the field if they're not blocking, and they take a lot of pride in that. And you know what? They don't get all the glory, for blocking, but we do it as a team. Sure. And so it really makes it easy to coach. A lot of those kids are only playing one way anyway. The A and B kind of stick out defensively, in the secondary, and they do their jobs there now. They're really good receivers too. But we don't worry about, oh man, we need to get Gabe. No, we're gonna throw the ball or run the ball where we feel we can have success. And so it makes it really easy to coach kids that have that type of unselfishness and discipline and work ethic and desire to succeed.
Sure. And as coaches going through the game, I may be wrong on this, I'm not sure, but as coaches, you don't keep track of what kids do individually on the field during the game. But if I'm right on this, Logan's never had a 300-yard passing game. Am I right? I don't think he has.
Listen,
and so at 200,
you know me in stats.
I know.
When it comes to me in stats.
So 267 yards, he had that. He didn't. I don't think he threw the ball in the second half.
Are you trying to
No, I'm just
force
asking,
us to throw pass plays? Is that what you want us to do?
No, I was just asking
because
Logan I don't think has ever had a 300-yard passing game, and I think he was really pushing last week to try to get that.
Well, my counter argument to that would be we call plenty of pass plays, but he likes to run the ball too.
Well, so, he did have 43 yards rushing.
Yeah, so when he takes off running, that's his choice. I mean, but again, and Logan's one of those undisciplined guys too. He's going to take what a defense gives him. I'm sure he would probably like for me to call 40 pass plays a game like we did back when we had R.J. Jacobs and David Gerber and Tyler Walter and some of those guys that, we just sat back there and slung it around. But, no, when we talk about the unselfishness, Logan shows that also. Sure. So, honestly, I didn't know he didn't have a 300-yard passing game. So, but that's okay.
Yeah.
He's more of a dual-threat quarterback.
He is.
Than those other guys. Those other guys were more slinging around and smart, intelligent guys with a completely different offense. So,
talk to us about Ethan Miller real quick. We'll stay on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, he was hurt week one, midway through the game. Came back last week, and it was great to see him get in the end zone.
Most definitely, because I've said it before. He's one of the hardest workers we've got, and dedicated and committed to our program. We talk about kids who are proud of other kids at the end of every practice, and I don't know how many times when he was out, he's still saying he's proud of Dylan Sunland for his attitude and effort in practice. And in fact, I think it was just tonight that he said it again. That sure. Was proud of the way Dylan practiced tonight, and and he's probably not going to play this week. That's a coach's choice.
Sure.
but he's right there helping and encouraging those guys along. All of our guys. Logan was doing that tonight. Caleb, who won't play this week. JT, who probably won't play this week. Those guys are all out there, supporting their teammates and encouraging them and helping them and coaching them. And that's a blessing to us as coaches to have those type of kids around they're going to help the younger guys and want to see those guys succeed because they know the expectations. Like I said earlier, from the first huddle to the last huddle.
So the two captains that the defensive captains that are here tonight, the baddest 140-pound middle linebacker on the team, and of course Jarrett Wallach is here. But talk about those two guys and what they do for your defense.
Well, Caleb is a very smart, intelligent young man, let alone, pound for pound, probably one of our hardest hitters, is fearless, has no respect for his body, great, smart kid. And it's nice to have that type of guy out there on the field that you can make those in-game adjustments, during a series just because of the intelligence. He can get guys lined up and those types of things. JT's just the energy guy. Obviously, when things aren't going well, we get a big hit, and it just sparks everybody else to go, and very plays the game with a passion, with a lot of emotion, and sometimes too much, Shannon, since you brought that up earlier. But yeah, just phenomenal athlete. We contemplated, standing him up and playing linebacker when we lost Sam, but is just too good with his hand in the dirt, or on the turf, whatever you want to say. So, two different. Listen, they're both very emotional. They're very passionate. They love the game, and it makes our job pretty easy when you have kids like that.
Final question, we'll let you go, Coach. Message to the team this week as you prepared for Strasburg.
Get better. You know what? Worry about ourselves. We do that each week. We faceless, nameless opponent, and that's what we've continued to do this week is worry about ourselves. Again, if we want to get to our ultimate goal of playing in Canton, then we have to get better each week. And I know we're 4-0, but we're a long way from where we want to be.
Sure.
And if we were 3-1 or if we were 0-4, we'd say we're a long way from where we want to be. But that's our mentality. As Coach Elmore says, you bring your lunch pail and your hard hat every day to practice and to get better and continue to work.
Absolutely.
So that's what we do.
Well, Coach, thank you. Good luck this week, and thanks for taking the time to join us. And we're going to talk to a few players now, and you can go enjoy some pizza and enjoy the rest of your night. That's Coach Jason Wallach joining us here on our Battle Motors Extra Point Show live from Pizza Parlor here in Sugarcreek. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas. We'll be back with Logan Yoder and Ethan Miller right after this. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
WTUZ Extra Point Show live from Pizza Parlor here in Sugarcreek. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas, and we have a couple of the Garaway Pirate captains, Ethan Miller and Logan Yoder joins us. They play the offensive side of the ball. They don't like defense. They don't like to hit people. They don't like to be hit, really. But we're going to welcome in these two guys, the two seniors. Logan, I'll start with you, bud. The first 4 games are done of your senior season. You're almost halfway through the regular season. You're not halfway through the season, halfway through the regular season. How do you feel the season's going so far?
I feel like it's going pretty good, but at the same time, I feel like there's much more room for improvement. We're playing very well, but our second half of the schedule, I think, is going to be much harder for us, and going into the playoffs as well. Competition is going to get much harder, so we need to improve in certain spots, and I know that we can do it.
And, I'll ask Ethan the same question. Obviously, Ethan, you came back after your injury. First of all, how's your shoulder? How are you feeling?
Oh, it's a little sore from Friday, but it's getting better every day.
The turf monster got the best of you on Friday night. You almost had a touchdown.
Yeah, that did not feel good.
How do you feel the season's going? Obviously, you've been a pretty big supporter the last couple of weeks being injured, but good to be back out there, right?
Yeah, it felt great to be back out there with all my friends and just teammates. It's like a family out there. As soon as I came back, just felt super welcomed and got right back into it. And I think our defense and offense have just played great this season. And with all the adversity we faced, we've just done a good job of overcoming it.
Awesome.
So, Ethan, when you're running the ball, do you prefer the ground and pound, get the handoff and go with it, or do you like those little swing screen passes where you can get out in the space and do your thing?
That's a tough question because I love both of them, but I think I do prefer the ground and pound. I don't know, just something about hitting the hole is just nothing better than that.
So we do have to, on camera, on the air, you become legal today. Happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Number 18 for Ethan Miller. So happy birthday to Moose, as his teammates affectionately call him, Moose. And I may sneak those in a couple times during the broadcast over the next several weeks, but happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And, all right, we're going to go to non-football talk, okay? So we're done talking football with you guys. We'll stay with Ethan. Since it's his birthday, we'll let him go first. And I kind of, gave you the questions ahead of time and let you guys think about them. But, all right, Ethan, what's your least favorite part of practice?
Defensive.
Defensive.
I just stand there and I just watch. I mean, I could get a few reps with Logan once in a while, handoffs or something if we're bored. But, defensive is just, we just stand there and watch the defense just practice.
But none of you guys play two ways, so couldn't you be scout team?
Yeah, I could, but that was before I got hurt.
Okay,
and
all
then
right.
they're kind of like, you probably shouldn't do it anymore. So, yeah.
Okay. Logan, how about your favorite non-football activity?
It's between hunting and fishing.
Okay.
Just anything in the outdoors I like doing. I'll go out, I'll shoot my bow. Just do whatever I can to be outside.
Okay.
So, what's your favorite and least favorite subject in school?
Well, I do online school,
So you don't even go to school then?
No, I don't go into school. I pretty much lay in my bed and do my schoolwork. Favorite is probably plumbing.
Plumbing?
I got plumbing 1. It's the easiest class I have.
Sounds like a football class.
It's kind of interesting, not going to lie.
Oh, Andy Katzenmoyer took bowling one year at Ohio State.
Yes, he did.
And my least favorite, definitely English, because I'm learning Old English right now. I have no idea what it means. So, especially since I'm doing online, I don't have a real teacher to teach me. So.
All right. So, favorite pregame meal?
Wall House. I get a chicken bacon ranch flatbread from Wall House.
Okay. Ethan, same question for you.
Subway. I get the chicken bacon ranch sub.
Okay.
Usually a 6-inch, so I don't, throw up on the field that night. But yeah, that's what I get.
You got a 12-inch the last couple of weeks because you're not playing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I ate a lot more these last couple of weeks. Took advantage of it. So yeah.
What type of music do you like to listen to before the game to get you pumped up?
Just about anything, honestly. Like country sometimes depends on my mood or whatever. But usually it's like, I guess you can call it hip hop or whatever, but yeah, that's usually what we listen to in the locker room and stuff. So that's usually what I listen to.
All right, Logan, what's your favorite music?
Mine's definitely country. If it was up to me, I'd put country on everywhere we go.
You listen to 99.9 a lot, don't you?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
all the time.
Good.
No, but if if we have Jensen or somebody on the aux in the locker room, then it's going to be rap or hip-hop or something like that. So I get used to listening to that kind of stuff.
So,
all right.
So which one of your teammates tries to be the dancer in the group?
Oh, I would
Me,
be Logan.
definitely
For
me.
Sure.
Yeah.
You should watch him on the sidelines. He's dancing during the game.
Yeah, I'm always dancing.
All right, so funny story, and you know my rules to this. Funny story about a coach, or a coach or a teammate or even an athletic director you've ever had.
So mine would be Coach and his son his son and one of his cousins were hunting on one of my dad's properties.
Which coach is this?
Coach Wallick.
Okay, which one?
Jason.
Okay.
They were hunting on one of my dad's properties, and they were sitting in the blind, and I was sleeping. I was dead. I was in my bed.
Yeah.
I was going to sleep in all day.
Yeah.
I got a call from Coach at about 9 o'clock saying that they shot one, and he wanted me to head over there. It was about 5 minutes from my house.
Okay.
And we got there, and Coach and I stood there as we watched his son Jace gut the deer the whole time.
Yeah.
And then Jace had to drag the deer out. If you would have been there, it was a lot funnier.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot more there.
Okay.
I wasn't happy to be up, but I had to laugh. But yeah, that would be my story.
All right. Ethan, funny story about a coach or a player or athletic director?
I'm probably going to have to do a teammate, and he's actually right over there.
Okay.
Caleb Miller.
All right.
So I don't know if this was last year, but it was a really cold practice. It was a really cold practice. And so, I mean, I don't know if I was on scout team, I was just standing around. So we were freezing. It was like a playoff game, or before a playoff game, and we were just standing around and not freezing and stuff. We go inside to, warm up after practice and everything because we were just all like frozen. And Caleb takes off his sock, and his one toe was so white, it was literally probably the color of that T-shirt over there. And we legit thought he had like frostbite or something. Was it frostbite then?
Stage 1
Yeah,
frostbite.
stage 1 frostbite.
Okay.
So I got a pretty good laugh out of that. I'm pretty sure Caleb was scared. So yeah, that's my funny story.
Okay.
Well, Joe Askins, what's your least favorite bus ride? Any sport? Was the worst?
Any season, yep.
Any season, the worst drive that you had down or back?
I would have to say I was going to say Bel Air, but I changed my answer. Last year in track, we went to Chillicothe.
Oh, goodness.
Which is
That's
like
regionals,
2.5 hours away.
Yeah.
So it was regionals. We go down there, and about after probably like the field events, it starts pouring down rain, storming.
All right.
So they canceled the meet.
Oh, geez.
Till the next day, I think. And we had to drive all the way back home. Everything was soaked. Blanket. We were freezing all the way back home. It was terrible. It was definitely the worst bus ride I've ever had.
All right. Logan, how about you?
Mine would definitely be last year in basketball. I think it was the regional it was the regional finals.
Regional finals.
Who do we play?
Afrocentric?
Afrocentric. And we had lost that game, but we took a school bus for that game.
A what?
A school, like a normal school bus. Usually we take nicer buses. And on the way back, the ride was real bumpy, and I was not a happy camper because I was upset that we had lost already.
Sure.
And then the bumpy ride on the way back.
Do you think that was the athletic director's secretary's fault for that bus, or do you think the AD's fault?
I'm not going to blame anyone for this one.
Well, okay, so we'll wrap this up, and we'll ask you guys, Logan, you have the mic, so I'll ask you your homecoming date. Homecoming's coming up. When is it?
Saturday.
Oh, it's this week. Okay,
Yeah.
so who's your date?
Jarrett Wallach.
Jarrett Wallach, okay.
And Jake Miller.
Okay.
We're going
so
as a trio.
So who's wearing the dress?
Jarrett.
Jarrett?
Definitely. Actually, if people follow me on Instagram, we're all going to be matching, so
Okay.
we're all going to be looking pretty
I
good.
have heard that you're pretty big on like Instagram and was it TikTok?
Yeah.
I'm not up on all that
yeah.
stuff, but
Yep, just hit 90,000 followers.
90,000.
Yeah.
He's bigger than us, Shannon. Gee.
I just do it for the hats.
Do it for the hats.
I do it for the hats.
All right. What is the hat you have on?
Double B Hat Company.
Okay. You like the flat bills?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It's a U-Pong.
You know,
This is a
you
U-Pong.
know we give out flat bills now. Right?
Yeah, I'll wear them.
All right.
I'll wear them.
All right.
Just give me one.
I got you. All right, Ethan. Homecoming dates. What do you got?
Jessie Johnson, she runs cross for Garaway, and yeah, we've been dating for almost a year now.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's who I'm taking this Saturday.
All right, senior prom. Or senior homecoming. You guys have fun, and good luck the rest of the way. We'll see you. I believe it's week 7. We'll see you back on the hill. So good luck. Go get them this week.
Thank you.
Yep. That's
Thank
Logan Yoder and Ethan Miller. We're going to let them get out, and we're going to bring the other 2 defensive captains in as well. These guys kind of scare me a little bit, so we'll let them get in. And one's really bigger than me, and the one's a madman. So, oh, goodness gracious. Wow, he just showed me a picture of his toe.
So are we going to post that toe on our
Yes, we
Instagram?
will.
Now that's some cool stuff right there.
Oh, and we may have to get a close-up on the video for that.
I-
So.
I can understand maybe why he was crying.
All right, so we'll get a close-up of it. We'll get Caleb in there.
So if any of our medical people are watching you could comment and let us know how that toe looks.
So obviously we have Jarrett Wallach here, and we have Caleb Miller here, the defensive captains. JT plays a little bit of offense. There's a close-up of that toe. Look at that thing. That is like, we're trying to get a good close-up. A good close-up of that ugly. What game was that? Do you remember?
Oh my God, that was. I want to say it was our second playoff game, so that would have been May. That was our freshman year, right?
That was freshman year.
I think so.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Manchester. So
okay.
yeah, Manchester freshman year.
You guys were young then.
Not a fun time. Not fun time.
Wow. So, all right, guys. So, first 4 weeks of the season, your senior year is almost half over. This Friday night, after the game's complete, you'll have the regular season halfway done. How do you guys feel the season's going so far?
Well, I'm glad you threw that halfway through the regular season in
Yes.
there, because obviously we're not completely halfway through yet. But like Logan and them said, we still have room for improvement. We think we're doing pretty well right now, but we've kind of picked up where we left off last year as a defensive group, but we still have room to go. We still got places we want to go.
Absolutely. JT, obviously you came back with a vengeance last week. 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and you were almost taking the handoff at some point last week. And how do you feel your season and the team season's going?
I agree with Caleb. I think we're getting back to where we were last year. I think it's a little bit of a rough start. Baylor game, we didn't perform as well as we wanted to, at least. And I think we're getting back to where we need to be.
So we know you like to run the diesel package. So is it fun when you get in there and get the handoff, or is it just another job?
I get that's probably one of the only things on the field I get nervous for, if I'm being 100% honest. But I don't know. I love scoring touchdowns. So
You just as long as Logan gets the ball in the basket, right? Because if he fumbles, it's his fault.
Yep.
So on the mesh, like when he turns to hand it off to you, do you take it 2 hands? Do you take it, just rip it out of his hand?
So I did that to start, and then first got yelled at by Coach, and then got yelled at by Logan.
Okay.
So I just let him do his thing now.
Well,
so.
show us the how you take the hand off.
All right. You go like this.
All right.
I just try to keep my arms as close to my body as possible, because otherwise they come out and kind of.
Do you just keep it in and just go in like this, or do you tuck
and
it?
my eyes up.
Yeah, eyes up. All right.
Keep my eyes up the whole time.
All right.
Yeah.
So would you rather play offense, or do you like defense better?
No, I'm a defensive guy. Yeah. So you don't even have to ask me what my worst part about practice is. It's probably offense. I'm not like Ethan. I don't just stand there, but it's probably just my least favorite part. So.
All right. So since we're on to these questions now, Caleb, your least favorite part of practice?
I'm going to have to go the same thing, offensive practice. I'm the same way as Ethan. I'm not even on the offensive roster at this point, so
Okay.
I literally stand there and do absolutely nothing.
So today's Wednesday. You guys do defense today?
We did offense today.
Offense,
yeah.
defense on Tuesdays?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys did nothing then, so you're not really tired? You can go out and run a couple miles?
Yeah, yeah, somewhat.
So do you prepare at home a lot, watching a lot of film, since you do play linebacker? Do you do extra film on the side, or just?
So yeah, obviously coaches set goals for us, things like that, but individually we all have our separate ways that we prepare for things. I like to take pride, and I watched a lot of film this year. Last year I may not have been quite as good at it. I don't know, just me being younger, but this year I've tried to put more of an emphasis on it, and it's prepared me a lot better. It can keep my mind into the game, keep my mind ready for whatever changes they want to put in.
All right, post-game activities after a game is finished, win or lose. What do you guys haven't won? You guys haven't lost a game in the regular season in a long time. So, what's your post-game activities?
The past couple weeks, it's been old Taco Bell with Ethan Miller over there. We've been, it's usually our group of people that heads up there. I mean, it's literally just a big group big group meetup at Taco Bell. We all sit in the Taco Bell parking lot and eat lunch and eat dinner together.
Awesome. So, JT, what about you?
So I kind of do the same thing with him. I wouldn't say we're in the same group outside of football, but we go and do the same thing, and then go back to Logan's and just hang out. And
all right, so I've been yelled at a couple times. I like to call you JT. Your mama calls you Jarrett. Which do you prefer that I call you?
I like JT.
Okay.
By the way, Mom doesn't care as much as you think she does.
I was told she really cares, so but, maybe she doesn't.
Yeah, she loves it every time you say something about it.
All right. So
keep that up for her, please.
I will do that. So favorite class in school?
Probably Pirate Media.
Really? What's that?
So basically it's the morning announcements just recorded, and I don't know, it's not a very hard class. We just have a lot of fun in that class.
Is that Coach Jarvis?
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So you guys have to literally like record the announcements yourselves?
Yeah.
And then and it plays over the intercom?
Yeah, he's our supervisor.
Oh,
Sits there and does whatever he does all day, and then we're in charge of the editing and recording and all that good stuff.
So have you had to edit any highlights or anything over the last few weeks?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Shout out to Dad.
Okay.
He does a lot of my highlights and stuff like that. So most of the things I send out to college coaches and all that stuff, he kind of does that for me and clips them and puts music with them and all that stuff.
Awesome. All right, favorite class?
I'm a math guy. I'm a little bit different than the rest of these guys. I am a big math fan.
Okay.
Calculus is my thing. I don't know what it is. I am definitely different. I will not deny that.
All right. Well, least favorite class?
I'm gonna have to go with history. I'm sorry. I cannot remember anything to save my life.
But you're good at calculus and you can't remember anything?
Correct. The individual facts, not my thing. I can apply concept to anything, but remembering dates, no.
So are you going to use your math stuff at the next level of education when you go to college? You're going to do something with it?
So yeah, I'm planning on going I'm looking at a couple different places for colleges and things like that. I've gotten offered a little bit of money, which is nice for something like that. Makes it a little bit less worrisome for me and for the future, but yeah.
Is there football at the next level for you, or are you going to be done?
Probably not. No. Bigger schools that I'm looking into, obviously. 140-pound middle linebacker is not going to get you very far.
You never know, man. The way you hit like you're 240. So.
But yeah, no, just something I never really think of that much. I don't know.
All right. What schools are you looking to do, and what are you going to major in, you think?
So right now, my two probably main places would be either Florida State or Florida Tech.
Okay.
And they have Florida Tech themselves has offered me quite a bit, and they've both offered me to take a tour of Cape Canaveral, which is the NASA launch area in Florida. So obviously I want to get into something like that. Aerospace engineering. I'm really excited.
Awesome. Shannon?
It kind of caught me off guard. I mean, you're a very intelligent kid, and I sit here and feel a little stupider now. But so next question for you both will be, outside of football, what's your favorite activity to do?
I'm a big golfer. I like being outside. I like being with other people. I can't golf by myself because then I throw things, and that doesn't end well. But yeah, golf is probably my main thing. I like being active outside, and it's just something that's fun to do.
Jarrett, what do you like to do outside?
I also golf occasionally. Not very good at it, but we do go occasionally. Hanging out with friends, just like going to Taco Bell or going out to eat and doing whatever. Going to my sister's games and whatever she has, and then Sundays I'm either at either one of my grandparents. Normally during football season, it's Papa Fishley. And we go up there and cooks us a meal every Sunday. And then non-football season, go out to Nana's, and she always has a great meal out there.
So I heard your sister is probably the best athlete of the family. Is that right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, she's an 8th grader, right?
She is.
And volleyball, basketball, softball?
She's off and on about softball. She's not not sure yet. She's becoming a track star.
A track star?
Yeah.
So is she faster than you and Wyatt?
Oh, she will be, probably.
How about, she has to be faster than Jace.
Oh, 100%. I think just about anybody's faster than Jace.
Oh.
I've actually watched this young lady on the basketball court. Very impressive last year as a 7th grader. I would have taken her for most JV teams. That's how good she was. I mean,
wow.
she
a lot better than me and Wyatt.
She's a very good basketball player.
She gets that from her mom. Your mom was a good basketball player,
Yeah,
right?
she was all right.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. All right, guys. The season, like I said, going to be half over after this season, or after this week. Your homecoming date is who this week?
I'm actually going with a friend. Her name's Candace.
Okay.
She's a senior this year as well. She plays volleyball, and
they're having a good season. Volleyball team's having a good year.
Having a good season. I'm pretty sure Chip will talk about that a little bit. Yeah?
Yes, he will.
So yeah, they're having a good year.
Anybody you want to thank before you go?
Obviously, I'm just going to thank all the coaches and all the people around us. Obviously, we wouldn't be where we are without the people around us, the community, the coaches, everybody who's been around us since we were even in 4th grade.
That's
coming
awesome.
up in the Pee Wee program, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are without these guys.
JT, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, just my parents and coaches, like you said. And I know you didn't ask us, but definitely the number one funniest thing.
Yeah.
It happened this year.
Okay.
But, it was actually you, Joe Geck.
What? What'd I do?
Your talk show in the beginning of the year. We all decided to listen to it in the locker room, and
oh, jeez,
got a pretty good laugh about the 140 middle linebacker. So,
that's why I keep saying it. So he confronted me about it.
It's been a long-standing joke throughohout the locker room. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I can help provide some fun to the team. So. But, I mean, a 140, I mean, if you stand up, he's probably 150 after he ate tonight, right?
A couple pieces of pizza.
All right. But Caleb Miller and Jarrett Wallach over there joining us here on our got me all rattled. Battle Motors Extra Point Show live from Pizza Parlor. Big thanks to those guys, and of course Logan and Ethan, Jace Wallach here in the house as well, Coach Wallach and Coach Chad Wallach here as well. We're going to take a break, come back, and be joined by the athletic director for the Garaway Pirates, Chip Amicone. You're listening to Big Z Sports right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
But no, it's okay. I get a night off tonight, and here I am hanging out with you guys.
We appreciate
and I
that.
have thoroughly enjoyed every minute of sitting back there, listening to these guys talk and listening to Coach Wallach talk. And, it just makes me remember and kind of focus on how much I love and respect Jason Wallach and how much time, we have spent together in the last 18, now 19 years as a coach with him for 8 years, and now, AD working for him and with him and trying to help him out and all the other coaches out. And it's just fun to take a minute and think about those kind of things.
And, of course, big news out of Sugarcreek yesterday. You guys have the funds for the turf project for baseball and softball.
You've got to drive out the road here another mile. They started moving dirt on Monday.
Wow, did they really?
And they started at the baseball field. It is amazing how fast they are working. They've got just about all the dirt gone down to the grade that they need it, and I heard they're going to be installing the fabric and the drain pipes and stuff like that already tomorrow. So
wow.
We've got a great stretch of dry weather here, it looks like, and I think they're making hay, as the people say around here, and going to try to get it done. And it was very exciting that I don't know what questions you have about it, but the first time the idea of this came out of my mouth was March 22nd at a spring parent meeting.
All right.
And in less than 6 months, they're breaking ground up there at the field. That just tells you the level of support, hard work from the committee. I want to thank all the people that helped us out with that, all the businesses that supported this project. It's been amazing. It's humbling. It is truly an honor and a privilege to represent Garaway Athletics, represent our community, our parents, these kids, and these kind of projects really bring that to light. So exciting times for baseball and softball.
So, Chip, that's a spring project, but let's talk about your fall sports right now. Garaway's always been known across the board for having very good fall sports programs, and these boys here was just telling us about the big win the volleyball team had last night.
The success of our fall sports programs in my 10 years it makes my job easy, but it adds a lot more work because I get a lot more events to go to at the end of the season when, unfortunately a lot of these guys at other schools are done and their focus and transition onto winter sports. I get to drive to Columbus to go watch our boys or girls golf team at state golf, or drive down to, where's the cross country meet? It escapes me right now, but it is now. At the race track. I've been down there to watch our cross country team compete at state, either as a team or individuals, multiple years in my 10 years. It's phenomenal. Volleyball, though, you ask about volleyball. Very excited about volleyball this year. I think there's a lot of excitement around the program. We've had a great student section, a lot of these guys here, and the football team, and a lot of other kids. We've got middle school kids coming to these games. A lot of excitement, a lot of fun. The girls are playing really hard. They play really well together. I think the new league and the change that we had in the divisions that we had, in the addition of bringing in Indian Valley and Claymont, was probably hardest for our volleyball team, compared to all other sports. The level of competition and then Tusky Valley switching over. The level of competition that we brought in Tusky Valley, Claymont, and Indian Valley, along with all the other schools that continue to improve, volleyball was definitely in a position where they needed to, kind of rise to the challenge, and they are doing that. They have done that, and we got a lot of excitement with that. They went out to Tusky Valley. They beat them in 3 straight sets. Played really well, looked really well. I was unable to make that game, but all the reports from the guys that went, they told me how well they did, and they've won a lot of games already. I think they're 8-4. 8-4. Morgan Slayball, sophomore this year, just set a record for 29 kills in a game.
That's Marlon and Sue's daughter.
That is my lovely secretary.
Yep.
My work wife, as my real wife refers to her. Excited for her and excited for that team for sure.
Obviously, there was a big accomplishment a week or two ago with the golf team. Was it Trace Gibson had a big night?
Trace Gibson set a record for lowest 9 holes. I want to make sure I got it right. 31, but that was a -5, and so that is the new record for that, as where the course was. He's having a phenomenal year. The boys have won 8 IBC matches, which is the possibly all, but at least the majority, I know, of the matches that they've played, and they're having a good season.
Awesome.
Yeah. Pretty young team.
Yeah, I'm sitting here reading your notes here, and
Don't be copying off me.
But the girls' golf looks like they're playing pretty well too.
Girls golf's having a great year. They set a lowest 18-hole record of 310. It's a funny story because some of you may know I jokingly call myself the Fritter King of Sugarcreek now because the athletic department has taken over the Swiss Festival Fritter tent, which was a great experience. Come help us work it at the Swiss Festival.
You should have all the football players out there, right?
Well, they're a little busy at that time. That's
Saturday night?
The problem. No, well, Saturday night is about the only
That's
time,
when you
but
should
they're
have them there.
pretty busy on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, well,
so.
yeah, for sure.
But what was I saying? I don't even remember.
You were the Fritter tent
I am
king.
the Fritter tent king. It had something to do with girls golf.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there. Oh, I know what it was. Record boards.
Yes.
So we took some of the proceeds that we earned from the Fritter tent last year, and I was able to purchase and then all summer long kind of create these record boards for the gym lobby. They're not up yet, but they will be there by basketball season. Since I finally, at the beginning of school, submitted the last proof, we've broken 3 records on those boards. So I've had to call the company and get the. So they're sending me the new things to slide in before I even have the record boards on the wall. But that's a great problem to have, and I'm glad to have that. So and Sydney Precy hit a hole-in-one this year.
That's
so pretty
awesome.
exciting stuff for her. Her and Trace Gibson were our August athletes of the month. Well deserved, obviously. So. Yeah.
And, of course, this week you're at home, Strasburg, homecoming. Going to be a fun week for you. Winter sports, basketball, a lot of excitement about basketball. You got most of these kids, well, let's see, 2 of them play. I think you don't play, do you? I didn't think so. 2 of you play.
Yeah.
But a lot of talent coming back.
Several of them transition into something in the winter.
Oh, yeah. So basketball going to be fun this year. And, of
a lot
course,
of fun.
With the spring addition of the turf, it's going to be another challenge
Yeah,
for
it
you.
is. Good excitement. We got time for a couple clarifications.
We do. Okay, so you were kind of called out by one Logan Yoder.
We're going to start with that.
All right.
I got to tell Logan, I worked my tail off to find a charter bus for that second game. We had one for the first game, but at least I made sure we had enough buses go down so everybody had their own seats so they could stretch their pretty little legs out and
There's only
and
10
not
of
be
them.
cramped
Come on,
up.
they can't ride one bus? I mean,
it was perfectly fine. I don't know what he's talking about. He was asleep the whole way, but I don't think there was a charter bus available in the whole state of Ohio that night. So I don't know what was going on there. And then I heard you guys talking about your worst trip.
Yeah.
And I struggle to find answers to some of these, but this one popped out immediately. No offense to anybody in McConnellsville.
Okay.
But going to Morgan for especially a basketball game in the winter is the absolute worst trip from anyone in this area. and I remember the famous Donnie Spinell telling me at one point that when he was an AD, he told his coaches, if it comes to playing Morgan or the number 1 seed, go play the number 1 seed and turn in your jerseys the next day. And I said, I understand where that was coming from. And then you said a funny story. We went to Morgan for girls basketball, and I was driving down with my principal, Ryan Taggart, Darren Yosick, football coach, basketball coach, baseball coach, and teacher at school.
And newly engaged man.
And newly engaged.
Yes,
that was the big news the other night. And my low tire light comes on. And we're in the middle of somewhere. I just had passed Sasquatch on the side of the road.
Probably down towards Fort Fry, because that was like down in the boondocks.
I don't know.
There.
I passed the AEP ponds. I don't even know what road I was on. It was getting dark, and I'm like, we're halfway there, and my tire's going flat. Get to the game. I let Mr. Taggart and Coach Yosick out because, of course, they're not going to get their hands dirty. But I go in and get my pal Kevin Roberts, our bus coordinator, and we go out and try to proceed to change this tire in the pouring rain. At some point, one of us bumped the truck.
Oh, no.
And it came down off the jack. And so we're in the pouring rain, and the truck is laying there in the parking lot on its axle, and we're looking at each other trying to figure out how to do this. And somehow, thankfully, his engineering skills were a little better than mine. We managed to use a cement block and the bad tire to get the truck back up, get that tire on. We get it done. I walk in. It's the start of the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, we were not doing very well. I went, washed my hands, watched the last 3 minutes of the game, turned around and drove home.
Oh, my
I said,
goodness.
never again.
Yep.
Let's not do this ever again. So.
One final question. We'll ask you your homecoming date. I know the biggest support staff you have is at home every week, so talk about your wife.
Oh, my wife is phenomenal, and those of you that come to Garaway games, she's at a lot of stuff. She's not at everything, but she is there, and she's very busy. She's a nurse practitioner, and she works all over the place at different hospitals. And she's been great. I've been doing this for 10 years. My youngest is a junior in high school, so they were pretty little when I started this, and she had to carry a lot of the weight and burden herself, and she's been very supportive, and it's been fun having her alongside, to watch the boys come through and play in the sports they have, and she loves these guys as much as I do. So yeah.
Well, keep up the great work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yep, that's Chip Amicone, the athletic director for the Garaway Pirates. We're going to take a quick break, come back and wrap this up right after this on Big Z Sports, right here on Z Country 99.9.
The Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors, will be back after this break. Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven.
How does a new career in an extremely high-demand field sound to you? Well, the former Crane Carrier Company in New Philadelphia is now Battle Motors. Battle Motors is expanding rapidly for their all-new heavy-duty electric truck production. Battle Motors has immediate openings for assemblers, electrical technicians, painters, blasters, as well as numerous engineering and design positions. If you're interested in a great career opportunity, apply online at battlemotors.com/careers.
You're listening to the Extra Point Show, built by Battle Motors. Purpose-built, quality-driven.
Battle Motors Extra Point Show. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas here. One final segment here by ourselves. We'll wrap this up today. Big thanks to all the Garaway coaches. Coach Jason Wallach, Coach Chad Wallach was here as well. The players, Logan Yoder, Ethan Miller, Jarrett Wallach, and the baddest 145-pound linebacker that I know, Caleb Miller, joined us here tonight as the captains of the football team for the Pirates. And what a fun show. The kids seemed like they had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, this, Wednesday night show. Usually in the years past, we focused more on the coach. This year we kind of switched up. We're focusing more on the players because, honestly, we get to talk to the coaches a lot preseason, postseason, two-a-days, every Friday night when they win. So this year we switched it up, and, And they have a lot of fun with that.
They do. I said 145 pounds. I gave Caleb 5 more pounds. He ate a lot of pizza tonight, so I think he may have put 5 pounds on here tonight at Pizza Parlor. Big thanks and shout out to Jeremiah Johnson. We appreciate the hospitality here at Pizza Parlor and hosting us here tonight for our Extra Point Show. Don't forget, Friday night we'll have our Wood Electric pregame show. That will start at 5 o'clock in the studio with the guys. I believe Adam's in there, Nick will be in there, Roger Metzger will be in there, Chris will be in there as well. Nick will be on the sidelines with myself and Travis. We'll be down in West Lafayette for the Ridgewood Generals and the Malvern Hornets for week number 5 of the high school football season. You'll be patrolling the sidelines of
Indian Valley, Newcomerstown, homecoming night for Indian Valley.
So down in Janaden for Shannon Thomas. Big shout out to Lydia Brady as well for pushing the buttons, making us look good as always with Claxon Communications. Well, that's going to do it here for our Battle Motors Extra Point Show from Pizza Parlor in Sugarcreek. Joe Geckler, Shannon Thomas. We'll see you next time around.
Thanks for listening to the Big Z Sports Extra Point Show, powered by Battle Motors, purpose-built, quality-driven. Tune in this Friday starting at 5 p.m. for the most comprehensive high school football show in the area, Big Z Sports.